Greetings, fellow gourmands. Just wanted to show you a couple of things I picked up. What we're actually going to do today has nothing to do with this, but I love kipper snacks, and you know I love smoked oysters. I'm going to have to compare them to baby clams. Smoked, of course. Anyway, what we're doing today is... Ooh, it's a blank slate. Is it really? What we're doing... This is a new tripod, so please bear with me. This is not a smooth thing. Arr. There. I'm going to have to find a way to lubricate that thing. Oh, it's zucchinis and peppers and tomatoes and onion and garlic and cheese and breadcrumbs. We're going to make a vegetable lasagna. No noodles, just vegetables. Hey folks, Doc here. Well, what we need to do is essentially make those zucchinis about the same size as the pan that they're going into. So what I will do is cut the ends off, give it a little bit of a measure, not too worried about getting too terribly close, but I want them to be reasonably close. One thing I can tell about these zucchinis is they were doesn't need much of a trim at all, just take the end off. They were getting close to end of shelf life, so to speak, and in fact that piece right there looks pretty nasty, so we're going to take the whole thing. Hopefully there will be enough of this to fit in the pan. I can take a little bit more off. Take it off the crummy end. So it happens sometimes when you don't cook with a menu in mind. You sometimes buy things to have on hand and then you don't use them. That is one slippery little sucker. Okay, then what you do is you want to cut this the long way. And I'm probably going to have to use these, oh, you can see that was starting to, can you see that? Starting to turn bad right there. Still good enough to use, but if I were making this for a restaurant, I would definitely not use these at the stage they're at. This is beyond shelf life, really. Not that I don't love my family or anything, it's just, you know, I guess I'm just getting ready for the new depression coming, where you don't just throw things away because, you know, gee, they just don't look good. That's not acceptable anymore, or won't be soon. And it's probably a good thing. So anyway, that's the idea. You do that, and I'm not going to do it all in front of you because that would be tremendously boring. Same thing with the tomatoes. Just give them a quick slice, as thin as you can make them without, you know, being paper thin. They don't need to be paper thin, but get them nice and thin. Do the same thing with the onion and garlic, and I'm going to cut them up and get them ready, and then I will come back and show you the assembly. Back again. Okay, so here we go. We've got the pan, and we've got our mise en place all figured out here, hopefully. And we have Mr. Coffee. And we have a sloppy mess because, of course, I have a drinking problem. I can't drink without dripping all over the place. Okay, so here's our baking pan, which has mysteriously grown. Can you believe it? It's almost half again as big. And I guess that's because it looked like it wasn't going to work too well. So anyway, what we'll do here now is get some, hopefully there's enough tomato. Oh my, we may have a problem with tomato. We may have to stretch this out a little bit more. Hate doing that, but you know what? Depends on how many layers we've got of other stuff here. So I'm going to have to spread it out a little bit more than I would normally do. There, that'll work. That's just fine. And my girls, this is one of the few vegetables that they like to eat. They're very excited when I make this. The only drawback is that, as far as they can see, is that people don't want to talk to them the next day at school, because even after brushing their teeth, there's a good bit of onion in here and a good bit of garlic that goes in here. And you just, well, I like garlic. It's very good for you. It tastes awesome. My goodness, I thought 5 cloves was going to be enough, but it may not be. There we go. And then, what do we need here? What would be good? Oh, well, we need a little bit of this too. It's a new addition. Don't let my girls know it's in there. What they don't know won't hurt them. I was actually thinking of putting some very thinly sliced mushrooms in there, but I've decided to go a little bit more with this. Need that stuff. That's good. Okay, now, what else? Here we go. We need our seasonings. Did a little bit of a chiffonade of fresh basil. You don't have to use fresh basil. In fact, some people prefer dried over fresh, so it's kind of a up to you kind of thing. I like fresh. It tastes fresh. But I don't have fresh oregano, so we're going to just put some good old dry oregano on there. This actually isn't from Spice Classics, whatever brand this is. I get bigger things at Costco and then break them down into these. Probably need a little salt in there, although not too much, because there's going to be plenty of other salt-bearing things going in here, such as cheese. This is a blend of Romano and Parmesan. So we'll put that in there. Is that enough? You can never have enough cheese as far as my kids are concerned. So we'll put a little bit more in there. Cheese is good. Let's see. And then breadcrumbs. And this is probably where we're going to have a little bit of salt coming in. These are pre-prepared. Usually I don't use this. I make my own breadcrumbs. And I probably should have gotten the unseasoned, but for some reason got those. So that's what I have. Logic would dictate you go the other way with the stuff. Anyway, we will. I'm not going to have you watch the rest of this. I'll just finish it off and let you see what it looks like. Hey folks, Doc here, back again. And here you have the finished, well, not finished because it hasn't been cooked yet, but this is the assembled dish. Covered with breadcrumbs. Normally I don't have these huge slabs of mozzarella cheese on there, so we'll see how that works out. I just like throwing things together, whatever I've got. It usually works out well. So I'm going to serve that with a meatloaf tonight. And this is just a really tasty dish that the kids really like. And thought I'd share that with you. And hope if you try it, hope you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, well, then you did something wrong. It's not my fault. Have a good day, folks, and be careful out there.